What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're creating a fun sketch illustration of Mega Minion Mel from Despicable Me. For today's lesson we'll need a sketch pad and a pencil. I'll be drawing with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now the first thing we want to do is break down the basic shape and pose of our character before we get into the details. So I'm going to start by sketching a line coming down the center of our page. So let's start at the very top in the middle. Just going to lightly work our way down the center using these short lines. I'm going to place the top half of the body on the top of our page. So up here, draw another line going across from left to right. Let's use these two lines to help us create a large circle on the top of our page. So from that center point, we're going to move up to right about here. Let's just mark off the top of our circle. And then we're going to measure this distance down towards the bottom and do the same thing. Let's repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over towards the left and then all the way over towards the right. Now I want to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So we'll start with the top left, and the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the right size and placement along the top center of our page. Now with our character pose, we want to bend the back over towards the right. So I want to draw that same size circle along the bottom right side. So let's start by adding a line going across the bottom of this circle. And then the center line, we're just going to shift this over, draw another line going up, and then bring that all the way down towards the bottom. Let's duplicate this distance down towards the bottom. So right here, draw another line going across. And then again, we're going to repeat those processes by marking the top of the circle from the center down toward the bottom and then over towards the side. So right here and on the right, let's connect the ends with a curve to create that circle. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Let's get the right size. Now I'm going to join these two circles together with a curve along the left side and then the back. So let's start on the left side of this circle, come down, and then bend that in towards that bottom circle. Let's take that same curve from the back on the right, come down, and then out. Now that we have the basic shape of the body, let's start adding the details. All the way over on the left side, we're going to draw an oval for the visor. We're going to come down, up, and then around. From the top and bottom of that oval, we're going to extend these lines going all the way across and then out. Now we can determine the length of this visor. So we're going to step over to right about here. From the top, we're going to draw that same oval, going around and then down, and then back up towards the top. Now with the head, we want to tilt this back over towards the left. So from the inside edge, we're going to step up. Let's add a curve going across and up towards the right, and then back down. Let's add some thickness to the strap. Stepping up, just going to follow that curve, and move down and draw that again. Now I'm going to move in between the circles and draw that same curve going across and then down. Now over on the left side, we're going to add the edge of the mouth. We're going to step in, follow the curve of the body, coming down towards the center line of the bottom circle. Step in, draw that again, coming down and then up. Let's connect these 2 points with a curve, going up towards the visor and then back down. And then connect the bottom with a curve coming down and then up. Let's move down and draw the top edge of the pants. Across and then up towards the right. Now let's go back and add some shape to the mouth. From the bottom edge, step up, add another curve. Now we're going to step in, just follow that curve going up towards that line, round out the mouth, and then come down on the right side. Now I want to go back to the top of the visor at that point. I'm going to go up and then come straight down. Now you can see that all we're doing is just layering on the details on top of that main shape. So let's start all the way back over here on the right side. Just want to add a small circle for the base of the arm. And then from the center, we're just going to bend the arm going up and then in. Along the top, let's draw a slightly larger circle for the base of the hand. Now I want to place the left arm in behind the body. So we start right about here, bend the arm coming down and up, and then we'll draw that same size circle for the base of the hand. Now around this hand, we're just going to layer in 2 circles for the fingers and 1 for the thumb. So let's start on the top right. Just going to add a circle. Let's raise the second finger going up. And then on the left side, add another one for the thumb. Let's go over towards the left hand. Just going to overlap the thumb with a circle. Add 2 along the outside. Now I want to tuck the legs in underneath the body. Let's start on the bottom left side of the body, bend the leg going out and then down towards the heel, round out the foot, going up, curve the top of the foot, going up and then down. And we just want to get the general pose of the legs. Let's go over towards the right, bend the leg coming down and out, curve the foot coming down, round out the foot and go back up towards the heel. Now that we established the basic shape of the body, we want to go back and clean this up by erasing some of these guidelines. Now at this stage, we want to take a step back and look at our overall drawing. Now if the proportions look correct, we can add that second level of detail. Let's start with the visor. We're going to trace this oval along the inside. And again, we just want to go in lightly. We don't want to go too dark. Now that laser is going to come out from the eye. So from the top and bottom of that center oval, draw 2 straight lines going out. I'm just going to fade that off our page. Let's start adding some detail around. So adding a thick trim on the left side. So just following that curve. And then on the right. Let's add that clip along the side. Now I want to taper the strap so it gets narrower across the back so it's stretching around the head. You can also bump this out. Just define the edge of the head going in behind that strap. Now I want to add some definition to this hand. So we're going to start with that front finger, going all the way around. Now I don't want to close off the bottom. I'm just going to add that fold and go out towards the thumb. Just going to add those folds for the palm. And I'll add some thickness to the edge of the glove. Just going to bend these out, round out the bottom. And I'll add some thickness to the arm going in towards the top of the shoulder. Move down and draw the bottom of the arm. Now on the back of the head, we're just going to add a couple folds, these little bumps going across, come down around the shoulder. So we're just going to add a little bump around the base of the arm, and then go out towards the back. Now I'm going to add some detail to the mouth. Flatten off the top a little bit. And then along the top, we're going to add a guideline for the teeth with a curve. Add a guide along the bottom. And we're going to add the tongue. Start with that front fold. Trace that trim around the mouth. Now let's add some detail to this hand, starting with the thumb. Just going to blend this up towards that first finger. Let's add that fold in the center of the palm. And then again, just spreading out the base of the glove. And we'll add some thickness to the arm. Now that strap is going to go from the back in behind the arm and then come down towards the edge of the pant. Let's add some thickness. Tracing the top and bottom. Round this out and add that button. Now all the way over on the left side, we're going to add the edge of the strap coming in. And at the top. Now from here, come down and up. And then add in the side. Let's add that pocket in the center of the body. And I want to add some thickness to the legs going down towards the boot cuff. I'm going to add an oval across the base of the leg. The back, go down towards the heel. Now you're going to see the bottom of the foot on the left side. So just going to round this out, come back in towards the heel, draw the top of the foot, and I'll separate the heel with a straight line. And we're going to go back and just clean up our drawing one final time before we get into the details and shading. Now I want to switch to a thicker pencil. This is my 0.9 millimeter. I'm going to add some contrast. So we're going to start back at the very top with the edge of the visor. I'm just going to pull that laser beam going out towards the left. And we want to erase all that detail along this inside. So we'll come back to that after. Let's draw the edge of that trim. I just want to fade that up in towards the center area. Right at the top and bottom of that trim. And I want to have a slight indent in that center section. Add those rivets on the outside, starting in the center, and then just working our way down. Now there's a detail that goes across the center barrel. So we're going to start with that center line in towards a circle. Two short lines going across. And we'll go back and just add some thickness. And we're just going to darken up the inside. Now with the base of the teeth, we're just going to round out each tooth just within that guideline, and then we're going to also go across the bottom. Just pulling these teeth going up. And then we're going to darken up the inside of the mouth, going around the teeth and the tongue. I'm just going to roughly add that detail with that M in the center of that circle, and then just darken up the area going around. Now the boot is going to cover the edge of the legs, so we're going to just trace out the top edge of that oval and work our way across the bottom. Now we're going to go back and start adding some various tones and shadows. So we're just going to darken up that inside edge of that visor going around the laser beam. Just going to add a light tone to that point along the top. Now to make this metallic look, I'm just going to start with a curve just inset, going across the top, darken this up, and then we'll fade that down. And we do a similar thing across the bottom. Just going to add a reflective edge and then fade that up. And then on the tip of each finger, we're just going to lightly add a small circle on the top left, and it will darken up the hands going around. Now we're just imagining that the light's coming from the top left side of the page going across. So the shadows will sit on the bottom with the highlights along the top. So I'm going to go back and just darken up the bottom of those hands, just to give it a little bit more shape. So starting with the fingers. I'm going to push that palm into the shadow and then the bottom of the wrist. Let's do the same thing to the right hand, starting with those circles. Add that middle tone. And going back and just darkening out the bottoms. Now I'm just going to push the bottom of the foot into shadow. So we're going to go dark. And then again, we're going to add that highlight along the top left. So we're just going to add a small guide. Then add a medium tone to the rest of the foot. Let's add a small highlight on the top of the foot. I just want to blend this out. Now I'm going to switch to the flat edge of my 2mm pencil and start adding some shadows. So now the visor is going to cast a shadow across the bottom of the face. I want to bring this down at an angle towards the right and just fade that out. And go back and just smooth this out. And a shadow cast from the arm across the body. And we'll add a medium tone to the pants. I want to place that shadow on the right side of the body, but I want to leave a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to trace out the edge of the body on the inside. Just darken that up, and then fade that as you go over towards the left. Now we're going to go back and just tighten up our contrast. So we're going to start with the hands and go a little bit darker in the shadow areas. And this last stage, we just want to go back in and start adding those little details. Now, as we get near the end, we're just going to tighten up our shadows and add a little bit more detail. And always be sure to sign our artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Mega Minion Mel from Despicable Me. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.